everybody, it's time for NHL Games of the Week, and it's the last time for this season that I'll be doing NHL Games of the Week because the regular season is coming to a close. This is a regular season video series. Obviously, in the playoffs, every game is a game of the week and of the utmost importance. So this will be it for Games of the Week now with this one, and that will do it for the regular season in the NHL as we head into the playoffs, which I am super excited about. So before we begin, I just ask you to please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. It helps the channel an absolute ton and is greatly appreciated. But let's get into it here. And there really weren't a whole lot because there's not a lot of meaningful games left in the NHL. All but one playoff spot is clinched already. All the other teams are eliminated. The last team that needs to clinch their playoff spot is the Montreal Canadiens. They are going to get in. They just need one more point, I believe, and they lock themselves in officially. They just haven't mathematically done it yet. But obviously, at this point, there's not a lot of big matchups left that mean a whole lot, whereas we're just kind of getting to the end of the season and teams are gearing up for the playoffs, or those that will be going to the playoffs. So first group of games comes tomorrow on May 10th. I have the New York Islanders against the Boston Bruins. Now, this game does have some meaning, and it's actually one of the more meaningful games remaining because the Bruins and Islanders are fighting it out for third and fourth place. This game could determine who finishes third and who finishes fourth, and could set the playoffs matchups for the East Division in the first round. So, Islanders right now are 1 point behind Boston, but if they win this game, they would pass Boston up into third, and that would definitely change things in the East as far as the first round goes. So that game does mean something and is pretty important. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers, they play on Monday as well. It's the final regular season game for both of those teams. They will be meeting in the first round of the playoffs. So this is a little bit of a playoff preview here. Right now, the Panthers are in second and the Lightning are in third. The Panthers have a 2-point lead over Tampa Bay. They can solidify home ice with a point in that game. So that game does mean something. And obviously, there's a big rivalry between these two teams. They're from the same state. They're going to be playing in the first round of the playoffs. So this is a decent matchup that's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see how hard they play on Monday or if they wait until postseason time to really go all out. But that should be a good one between the Lightning and the Panthers. The Avalanche and the Golden Knights play Monday night, and that is a big one for first place in the West, where if Colorado is going to catch Vegas for first place, they have to win this game. If they lose this head-to-head matchup, I think Vegas is at that point going to take first in the division. And Colorado also has to watch out behind them because the Minnesota Wild are not very far behind. And if the Avalanche lose and the Wild win, then you could possibly be seeing the Wild catching Colorado for second place. So that game has some meaning. That's also obviously a huge matchup between two of the best teams in the West and two of the best teams in the league. So that should be a really good game on Monday. And finally, for Monday, the Edmonton Oilers against the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal is the last playoff team that hasn't mathematically clinched yet. I believe they just need a point to do it, and that would, I think, put them out of reach for both Calgary and Vancouver, who have quite a few games left. But I think the point spread would be too much for them to be caught. So Montreal has an opportunity to lock up their playoff spot on Monday, and they're going to be playing the Oilers, and obviously that game still has some importance for the Canadiens, who are trying to officially get themselves in. On Tuesday, we have the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. Now, I don't know how meaningful this game is going to be as far as the standings are concerned. That will depend on what happens Monday night, but either way, whether this game has meaning or not, it's the Bruins and the Capitals. They don't like each other very much. They play good games against each other. They play very physical games against each other, and there's a strong possibility that they could be playing each other in the first round of the playoffs this year. If Boston finishes third and Washington finishes second, that would be your first round matchup. So it could be a playoff preview as well. So Boston and Washington should be a good one on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I have the Minnesota Wild against the St. Louis Blues, 2 playoff teams from the West. Now, St. Louis is locked into 4th place, in the West Division, but Minnesota could potentially still move up and pass Colorado, depending on what Colorado does the rest of their year. So this game could be meaningful for Minnesota, and they could be, trying to move into 2nd place with this one. So that could be a big game for them. But either way, whether it's meaningful or not, I think it's a good matchup there between the Wild and the Blues. Edmonton and Montreal play again on Wednesday. So if Montreal does not lock up their playoff spot on Monday, they certainly could do it on Wednesday night. Again, they just got to get a point somewhere in these last 2 games, and they are officially in. Or they need Calgary and Vancouver both to lose, and then they'd be in by default anyway. So Montreal is going to be the 4th team from the North Division, and like 99% sure. They just need to mathematically do it, which hasn't happened yet. And then finally, we have Thursday, the 13th. We have Minnesota and St. Louis playing again, which, same reason, should just be a good matchup. Even if Colorado pulls away and Minnesota is not going to catch them, it still should be a decent matchup and a fun game. So those are my games of the week to finish out the regular season here. Obviously, there's not a lot, but there really aren't a lot of good matchups or real meaningful matchups left, as we're just kind of trying to wrap things up and get ready for the playoffs here. And the only thing really left up for grabs is seeding in the playoffs. Who's going to finish first, who's going to finish second, third, fourth. But other than that, we kind of know who's in and who's out at this point. So that means there aren't that many huge games left, especially with most teams only having 1 or 2 remaining. So with that, that's going to do it for Games of the Week for this week and for this season. And it's been a fun year, but we're getting ready for playoff time, and I cannot wait. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.